Hi guys, it's Magic in the Basement again. Today we're going to be doing something a little different than opening. I had checked the mail yet; it hasn't come, so I'm not sure if I got my uh, fat pack of Oath of the Gatewatch. So I can't open it because it's not here. So what I decided to do today was start a series I'm going to do about teaching Magic in general. Some people might be interested and not know how to play it, or might be learning and needs a few tips here and there. So I figured, why not try to teach something. All right. So we'll go over the basics of some cards in this episode, and as the series progresses, we'll get into more advanced cards and strategies, things like that. All right, so in Magic, you have spells. You have different types of spells. You have creatures, you have instances. It's kind of blurry. Let me see if I can get some of the blur out. Instances, you have sorceries. It's still blurry. Sorry about that, guys. I know you can't read the text too well. Got some lighting problems going on today. I'll try to get that fixed. And then those are your basic spells: creatures, instants, and sorceries. There are others, but those are the basic ones. All right, now let's actually look over a creature card. Try to get that as best we can. All right. You see up here is the name of the creature, and I don't think you can read it too well. All right, and over here is the mana cost of the creature. So this guy costs 6 mana. I know you can't see that 5 too well, but he costs 6 mana to play. 5 colorless, and oh wow, that came in color. 5 colorless, and then a black mana. So that's his mana cost. He is a vampire scout, which each creature has a type. Vampires, pirates, merfolk, even artifact creatures. It becomes relevant if you're using this like a tribal theme. Okay, and down here in this box is the abilities. Like some creatures have abilities, others don't. He has lifelink, which means when he deals damage, you gain life. Lifelink, simple. And then he also explores, which does the parentheses. Most times when a new mechanic comes out, they'll explain the mechanic in parentheses under the ability. And over here at the bottom, we see his power and toughness. His power is the first number, 3. His toughness is the second number, also 3. So he can deal 3 damage and also take 3 damage. And this is like a basic guy. So back to the mana cost. To play him, you need 5 colorless mana and a swamp. These are mana. They're basic lands. You can play basic lands 1 per turn. So he needs a swamp. So where's my swamp? Okay. So you would need 1 of these, and if you have all black deck, like all swamps, you would need 6 of them total. You can play 1 per turn. But say you played other colors, you would need at least 1 swamp, and 5 of anything else to play him. Okay, so pretend this is your board. You got your 5 lands. Let me get another swamp out. All right, you got your 5 lands on the board. To play him, you would have to tap them for their mana, which you turn them sideways, tap them for their mana, and then you play your creature. Now, when you play a creature, the first turn your creature comes out onto the battlefield, he cannot attack. he has what they call summoning sickness. You just summoned him, so it's pretty much he's getting oriented to his environment, so to speak. So he can't attack or use his abilities that make him tap. Lifelink is an ability that doesn't cause him to tap. So if you get attacked and you block with him, the lifelink will work. And he also has a come into play ability, the Explorer. That's a come into play ability. So as soon as you play him, he will do that Explorer part. There are other creatures that have tap abilities on them, which I'll show you in a second. As soon as I find one. Sure, I got one floating around here somewhere. Tap ability, tap ability. No, that's not a tap ability. Wow. I guess I dropped the ball on that one, huh? Thought I had one right there. Let's check this pile. Alright. Nope, not a tap ability. Good gravy. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go and get us a tap creature. Alright, we're back. I got us a tap ability creature. Now, when we look at this, let's try to get it focused in. Alright, there we go. You see that little symbol right there? That's a tap symbol. So that means that when you use his ability, it costs 8 mana, and then you have to tap him and then sacrifice him, and they lose 4 life and you gain 4 life. So that means that you would pay the mana and then turn him sideways, so he would be tapped. Tapped creatures cannot attack or block, so it's relevant to understand your tap abilities and be aware of your opponent's creatures, if they can attack you, etc. Now there's other abilities like this one that doesn't tap. So this ability, you can play this as many times as you have the mana to do it. See, since it's only mana ability, it doesn't cause him to tap. So say you have 2 mana, you can give him +1, +0 until end of turn. So it would become a 3 power, 2 toughness until end of turn, and he can still attack. Or say you have 4 mana, he would become, a 4/2, etc. As much mana as you have. So if you late game, he can do a pretty good decent amount of damage. All right, now those are tap abilities. We've gone over tap, non-tap, and ones that just activate when you come into battle. So those are basic creature abilities. Now, let's go on to a sorcery, a spell. Sorcery spells are similar to creatures, as in they also take mana to cast. This is the name, this is the mana amount. So this spell would take 2 colorless and 1 black. And then when you do that, you do what the card says. Return 2 target creatures from your graveyard to your hand. Now, sorceries are different than creatures, because when you play a sorcery spell, it doesn't stay around. You play it and then it goes to your graveyard. It's like a one-time use. Now, sorceries can only be played on your turn. Now we'll go over instances. Instances are just like sorceries, except for one big difference. An instant can be played on your turn or your opponent's turn. Alright, so again, we have the name and the mana cost. Come on, zoom in. There we go. The name and the mana cost. Once you play the mana, it will tell you what it does, and you can play it on your turn or your opponent's turn. Here is the type. It says instant. The other one says sorcery, and then the other says creature. So those are your basic types of spells. Alright. Now, in Magic, you can only have 4 of each card in your deck. So you could only have 4 of these Blight Keepers in your deck. The only exception to this is your basic lands. You could have as many basic lands as you want. Generally speaking, in a 60 card deck, you would probably want about 24 to 28, depending on your deck. Now, you can have as many basic lands as you want, any colors. Now, there are other lands that are not basic lands. These lands have abilities on them. So you can only have up to four of a non-basic land in your deck. They do the same thing as basic lands. They give you the mana, but they also have abilities. So this one would come into play tapped. So you wouldn't be able to get the mana out of it the first turn. And then it also has the other ability to pay 3 and tap it and sacrifice it to return a creature from your graveyard to your hand. So the big difference between that and this, or other than the color, because I picked the wrong one, is a basic land comes into play untapped always, and you can tap it for the mana as soon as you play it to cast your spells. Some non-basic lands also come into play untapped, but this one actually is not one of those that comes into play tapped. Some non-basic lands can provide 2 different colors, 3 different colors. It's got a lot of variety out there for different deck types. So you got your basic spells and your basic lands. And with those cards, you can make a deck up to at least 60 cards. There is no maximum number, but it has to be at least 60 and has to have no more than 4 copies of a spell and as many basic lands as you want. The thing with the 60, you don't want to go too much over that because it messes up your ratio, and you want to make sure that you get a consistent deck. You don't want to have like 100 cards in your deck and only see the card that you're looking for once in a great while. That wouldn't be very helpful. So that is your basic spell types, your basic lands, and your non-basic lands. I'm going to stop that here for today. Tomorrow we will go over the turns in Magic, how the turns are set up. Or actually I might do it later tonight, but I don't want this video to go too long. So if you guys enjoyed or have any questions, anytime you have a question, feel free to leave it in the comment and I will answer it as soon as I can. I just want to teach new players how to play the game, get more people into it. Magic's a fun game. So many limitless, combinations of cards, and you get to go out and you meet people and play a game, and everybody has a great time. The Magic community, in my experience, has always been very friendly and open, welcoming new people. If you ever have problems, you don't hesitate to ask. People will help you out. It's really fun, really friendly. It's been around forever. So, it's got a good quality to it, good fan base. And there's like local game stores everywhere. So that's the basics of the spell types. Like I said, if you enjoy it, leave a comment. If you have a question, leave a comment. And I will see you guys back later.